Lawyer Lamin J Darboe has said President Barrow does not have any constitutional powers to appoint governors for Banjul and Kanifing municipality. The president stares nerves after announcing last week that he is going to appoint governors for Kanifing municipality and Banjul, which are all manned by opposition mayors, to put a halt to what he described as efforts undermining his government's programs. Speaking to Kilfatu yesterday, Darboe, a prominent lawyer, argued that governors cannot control democratically elected councils. The Constitution has provided a high degree of autonomy for the local councils. The president or whoever is administering that scheme should ensure that the conduct of government complies significantly with that constitutional language. So if they say a high degree of autonomy, you cannot come from the State House and say, I want to administer your council for you, or I want to administer your councils for you through the Ministry of Local Government, as we are seeing now. He said the 1997 Constitution has vested powers in itself as the supreme law of the Gambia, and any law that is found to be in conflict with it is void. It does not matter what the president wants, the law is clear. If you go on a journey of your own because you believe you are an all-powerful president, you can probably pass legislation, especially if you control the National Assembly, and that is not a problem, but that legislation will conflict with the Constitution and you cannot implement that legislation, because if you do, you are challenged at the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court may declare it null and void. The Constitution has stated how the local government should be set up with a high degree of autonomy in a democratic climate. So we are talking about decentralization of power. Not all the powers belong to the president. The president has powers to appoint commissioners or now governors, and those ones are actually outside the local government set up as far as democratic universal suffrage is concerned. Nobody votes for a commissioner or a governor, so a governor can control a democratic elected council, Darboe further argued. The issue of the appointment of CEOs in council is very troubling, and it should not be there in our laws. It is troubling because now we have seen how it is being used. A CEO from nowhere will be used to serve as the boss of the mayor, the head of the council, and be in all subcommittees of the council, and nobody voted for him or her. Asked if the president would have powers to amend the 1997 Constitution and allow him a legal base to appoint governors for the Metropolitan Council of KM and Banjul, he said, going by the recent Supreme Court ruling by the president cannot do such. The Supreme Court specifically said you cannot curtail the term of councils by 3 months. Why do you pick up a fight with the Supreme Court and amend the Constitution? That would be irresponsible. Don't amend the Constitution to suit you, because nobody is a country. The country is there. You will leave the country there, and if you destroy it, you destroy it along with your legacy, but you will not live forever. So even if the president has numbers in the National Assembly, I don't think he would amend the Constitution on such rival grounds. This is not an important issue. People voted for members of council for their chairpersons under a universal adult suffrage. Mayor Law of BCC also argued on a statement that President Barrow said during his Meet the People tour, which states that the government is being undermined by the UDP mayors in KM and Banjul, citing Ousainou Darboe's invitation to launch the KM office complex as example of sabotage, which he said should not repeat with the Banjul office complex because his government funded 95% of the work. But reacting to the president's comment on Star FM, Mayor Low said she is disappointed and embarrassed with the president's comments. But I want to tell him, if one has power, money and military might behind you, if you are speaking, you should be measured because God is the only supreme power. I heard him say the Banjul City Council Complex office will be opened by the central government, but I want to tell him that he has made a mistake because it is not central government that funded the construction. It is funded through a World Bank project and counterpart contribution from the Banjul City Council, she stated. Mayor Lowe added that the funding only came through the Ministry of Finance because that is the World Bank procedure, and then the ministry deals with GAM works and the Ministry of Works will communicate to us that they have received funding for us and they will tell us our counterpart's contribution. I was the one who signed the contract with my CEO at GAM Works, and I was there when the foundation was laid and when the construction was completed. The contractor handed the keys to me. Also, I heard him saying he will ask the GAM Works to take the keys from me and hand them over to the Minister of Works, but I want to tell him that the contractor was done and dusted and a single government penny was not spent on it, she stated. Mayor Lowe continued to address President Barrow. So I think you are misled, and I think those who are talking to you should be truthful to you and tell you things exactly as they are. The keys have been handed to me, and it is not for you to take them back and give them to the Minister of Works. It is very disappointing that you are showing off that you have money and power, that you will try to threaten somebody who has great respect for you. The mayor went on to say that President Barrow should know that there is life after the presidency, and I want to assure him that I will be the one opening the building because it belongs to the people of Banjul. The project that you constructed, you opened for yourself, so allow me to open my building. I have no issue with you and I respect you a lot, she noted. The story from the Standard, reporting for In-Depth Media. I am Banjul Km.